Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Madam Director, according to the website of the Small Business Administration, the SBA, quote, works to ignite change and spark action so small businesses can confidently start, grow, expand, and recover, end quote. Administrator Loeffler, would you agree that recovering money lawfully owed to small businesses is an important part of this mission? Yes or no?
Yes, Chairman. Ranking member.
Ranking member, that's fine. According to recent court filings, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, has approved tens of billions of dollars in tariff refunds. As you know, this comes as a result of the Supreme Court rule striking down President Trump's IEEPA tariffs. However, a U.S. Court of International Trade, Judge Eaton, has noted that it appears much of the processed refunds have gone to large importers, while many small businesses continue to face obstacles in obtaining refunds and are now being encouraged to sue. Administrator, are you aware of these concerns?
Ranking Member DeLauro, this is not a concern we hear on a daily basis. Quite to the contrary, we see small businesses thriving thanks to President Trump fighting to put American industry and the American worker first. And that's why we have record business formation right now, because Americans see...
I appreciate that, and I'm sure that's the case. But the issue is the Court of International Trade has noted that it appears much of the processed refunds from the tariff money have gone to large importers. Small businesses continue to face obstacles in obtaining refunds. As a matter of fact, they've outlined some of the companies that the refunds are going to. The Walmarts, the large corporations, the small businesses are at the end of the line. Are you aware of the concerns of these small businesses?
Ranking Member, I talk to small businesses every single day. Their chief concerns
and they don't care about the refunds.
That's not an issue that
you don't hear about they're having difficulty with refunds. Well, that's interesting in and of itself, because it's one of the biggest issues that's out there. The Consolidated Administration and Processing of Entries, or CAPE, the program through CBP has become notoriously known as difficult to navigate. Am I to assume that you have not heard anything about that as well?
Ranking Member, when I talk to small businesses and we talk about their chief concerns, they're focused on hiring skilled workers. They're focused on growing, getting access to capital so they can expand.
Okay.
They're focused on ensuring that regulation gets rolled back. They are glad that taxes have been cut.
But they're not concerned, any of those who were really in a chaotic trade policy caught up in a net here, and they're having difficulty being able to get the refunds that they've been told that they are eligible for. You have heard nothing about that.
Small businesses are thriving thanks to President Trump's
Okay, fine.
fair trade agenda.
I just see the process does seem to favor, and these are not my words. I can quote you, Judge Eaton. I mean, that's what I wish to say this to you. If you could get to us a rundown of the refunds, who is getting those refunds, the amount of the refunds, and their category is a large business, small business, or whatever it is. Who are the companies getting the trade refunds so that you can dispel what is public knowledge about these efforts, which you don't seem to know about? So the process seems to favor large companies with in-house customs experts, outside trade counsel, while smaller businesses often lack the resources. I want to ask you, does the SBA share that concern? I'm afraid I'm going to get the same answer about the thriving small businesses. Have SBA conducted any assessment of whether small businesses are disproportionately struggling to access tariff refunds compared to larger firms? Are you doing an assessment of that? It's yes or no?
No, ma'am.
You're not doing an assessment of what's happening to small business.
What I see every day is
Will you
reshoring full industry.
Will you commit to working with CBP to provide this committee with a report identifying how many small businesses have successfully received refunds and what are the barriers that remain?
I will commit to continuing to advancing the interests of small business.
No, this is CBP to provide this committee with a report. Can you get us a report?
We're frequently asked to deliver reports. These reports are not wet. My staff will be happy to meet with your staff.
This committee needs a report report of what's happening.
I can tell you what's happening on the ground with small businesses.
Oh,
that walk
God, no,
factory
you
floors that
can't.
would not
Small
be
businesses do
open
not have
today if it
access
weren't
to
for
the same
President
legal
Trump's fair
resources
trade
as
agenda.
Fortune 500 companies. Let me be clear, this isn't a question of whether or not someone supports or opposes tariffs. It's about ensuring that the small businesses that you represent and the manufacturers in Connecticut are treated fairly. Federal government owes them money. They shouldn't have to jump through hoops to get it back. It is that simple. Mr. Chairman, I requested a report. I hope the committee believes that we should get a report and understand what is happening with the tariff refunds for large businesses and small businesses.
The hearing opens with Representative Rosa DeLauro taking her turn to question SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler, and she immediately narrows the discussion to a very specific issue. If the federal government owes money to small businesses because of court decisions involving tariffs, is it making sure those businesses actually receive it? That may sound like a technical question, but it raises a much bigger issue about government accountability.